What's going on, guys? Yule here, back again with a brand new video. Today we're going to do something brand new. I'm going to teach you guys how to do like some screenshot edits and how to take good screenshots and edit them all nice and neat like I do. I'm not saying mine are the best, but I do try pretty hard on every one I do. And before we get started, you are going to need a program that I use. You don't necessarily need it, but honestly it makes my life easier, and it would for you guys as well. So you're going to need a program called Lightshot. It is a screenshot program for your computer, and it makes life a lot easier. So I will have the link in the description for you to go download that. So let's get started. So like the first thing you're going to need to do obviously is get a screenshot. So just go right around, like whatever, get your laps in, and just do all that. And I'm gonna do that really quick, and I will get back to you guys when I'm done. Okay guys, so I'm back with the shot I want to do. First things first, make sure you have all your MAXHUD stuff off, that way it's not in your screenshot, because it will stay on in here. So make sure you have that turned off. The next thing you want to do is you want to have your settings for input 3. You want to have your FOV open and close set to something that you know. That way you can do this. You can do your FOV to, like, say you want to, like, say, okay, this is like normal right here. Say I want to move back, but you can go in to get more close up like that. So see, when I do my screenshots, I always try to get a little bit of the track that I'm under or above or riding on. That way I can do a little bit of like I'll show you guys once we get into Photoshop. I'll explain that. But just try to get some of that track in there. You don't have to, but for this kind of screenshot, I'm trying to get some track in there. Like this part of the track, like this, jump them on. So I'm going to try to find a better angle that I want to do that has the track in there, which I think right here is pretty good. If I back up, zoom in a little bit, maybe go up a little and then down. Let's say right here. I think that's pretty crystal clear. I'm trying to see. I'm looking in the bottom right, looking at that track, how much I got in there, just for this type of screenshot. So we got this one. So what you want to do, if you have downloaded Lightshot, you're gonna want to do you want to use insert. Now sometimes it messes up and it'll pop this up, but just reopen your game again, or just like re-click your game again and pick your area. Make sure your mouse or anything isn't in your screen. And then just title that whatever you want. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm going to name this and save it on my desktop to, let's say, video shot 1. Okay, so I got that on my desktop. You guys can't see that, but I do have it. Now I'm going to hit, don't move your camera. Do not touch your controller. You might as well set your controller down. Just literally, just play it until the bike goes out. Just do that. That's it. So what you want to do now is hit your FN. Now your game might pop up your bike again, so just go back out and then back in again like you did before, and then just name this whatever your next screenshot is. So there's that. There is your screenshot done. Now you have it saved. So now we're going to get to the editing process. But I am going to show you guys my other type of screenshot that I do. So let me go grab one of those really fast, and then we'll get into Photoshop. Okay guys, we're back. So in this screenshot right here, there's no ground, right? There's nothing in the ground that you're not going to see any ground. So I'm just going to take the screenshot up here. I'm not trying to get any ground in this shot whatsoever. I mean, the background track's fine, but I'm talking about the track you're actually riding on is what I'm mostly worried about here. I'm trying to get those mechanics area in the background along with everything else. So let's go right about here, and we're gonna do the same process. Insert. It's gonna mess up a little bit. You guys might not be able to see mine messing up, but trust me, it is working. So I'm just gonna name that, go back in, hit spacebar, don't move my camera at all, play till my bike's out of the screen. And we're going to hit insert again, mess up a little bit because of the screenshot tool thinking we're on the last frame. But just go back into the game, and it's good. So now we have those saved out. Let me hop into Photoshop real quick, and I will show you how to do the actual screenshot. Okay, now that we're actually in Photoshop, you're going to want to have your two screenshots in here. or your first shot in here with both of the shots. So I have my layer 1 along with the track. You want to have the one with the bike obviously on the top layer. This is a Photoshop tutorial. I'm sorry for anyone that doesn't use Photoshop. I'm not too familiar with any free like photo editing softwares. I know there's GIMP and stuff, but I don't know how far you can do these screenshots. I think there's a little bit of a limit there. I think that's more of like an art program, not literally a photo editing software. So first things first with Photoshop users, or with you Photoshop guys, so we're going to take both layers, highlight them. So just click for layer 1, shift and click the other one. We're going to rasterize them. So we're going to rasterize those now that they're, so we can edit them. So you're going to want to click, now you're going to want to click the one with the bike, and you're going to want to go to where it says normal, click difference. This will separate everything that's different between the two images. Okay. Then we're going to go up to select color range. While still selected on layer 1, we're going to take sample colors and switch to shadows and drag both of these down to 0. And then hit OK. Then it's going to highlight everything on the outside. So we're going to just hit the backspace button, which will get rid of it, and then Control D, which will unselect everything. And then we can go back to normal. So then this is how you get your separated rider and bike from the actual track. So the next thing is, and yes, you can move this like to wherever you'd want, which is pretty cool. So like I could move this over to here, which I might honestly on this one, because I don't like how it's over here, I might honestly just move this one over to here. You know what, screw it. For this, we'll just keep it in the middle. So we're just going to keep this here. So next thing's next. You want to just turn that off, okay? Let's just turn that off and work on the actual background picture. So I'm going to keep in focus everything that's close to me, like close to the camera. So I'm going to follow this black line, and I'm going to go around this box, this container, up and over this blue thing, across, up and over this, and you'll see. So I'm going to be using the pen tool, which is, if you right click this tool here, it should have the pen tool in it. So then you're just going to want to go along. You don't have to be crystal clear perfect, because I'm going to show you a little thing I do to make sure there's no sharp lines or anything. So I'm just going to follow this around. I'm going on the black so I don't have like a vivid line in there. I'm going to kind of go back here and just go over here. Your screenshot's obviously going to be different because you're going to be on a different track, different scenario. But this is the basics. It works on every track, and it's pretty awesome. So I'm just going to go down here, just cut across there, go around, just mark it out, and then just go across here and up and over this blue guy. And now we have everything on the outside cut out, so we're just going to go follow around the outside. So if this is if the bottom is what you want focused and not blurry, go on the opposite side. So this is down, so I'm going to go up. I'm going to go up and around and connect back to this guy without touching the track or picture anywhere. Then, once you've done that, you want to right-click, go to Make Selection, and you just want to hit OK here. And then now you have that outside focus. So then you can go up to here to Filter, while still selected on Scene 2. Make sure you are selected on Scene 2 this entire time. You want to go to Blur, and then for this screenshot, you want to do a Gaussian blur. So I usually tend to do like a 3, but let's do a 3. Yes, we'll do 3 here, because like if you do more than that, it's just going to do this. So we'll use 3, and there you go. Control D again to unselect, and now you have a focused front with a blurred back, which is pretty awesome. Now, if you have any like sharp lines, like you can see I have a line around here and stuff, little miss up there. You can come in here with the blur tool, which is this drop. Click your second layer and just make it a little smaller here. Make sure it's on 100 strength up here, and you can just come in here and you can just slowly but surely just blur out all the parts that aren't supposed to be blurred. Or if there's a line that you have, like say that little hole there, just make sure you get everything having a nice transition from the non-blur to blur. So there we go. Pretty awesome there. And now we have that. And there's our rider. Awesome. So the next step I'm going to run you guys through, you don't have to do this, but it's pretty awesome when you get it. When you learn it, it's pretty cool. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to make the tires look like they're spinning, which you don't have to do. Some photographers in real life like to have their shots catch that, but some don't. So we'll see that's up to you guys on what you guys want to do. So if you want to do it, what you want to do is you want to click your layer with your bike. So you can honestly just turn this off, but I like to do it because I can see a lot better. And you want to go, let's go to your front wheel or rear wheel first. So you're going to want to go around the outside first. It does get a little confusing in here at some points. And so like you don't want to get any of this linkage. So you want to go up and go down the swing arm. You want your rotor to be spinning. Keep going down the swing arm. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be pretty blurry. So it's going to look, you're not really going to be able to see the imperfections, but go over the brake caliper, and I'll give you guys a nice visualization of what I mean when you're selecting this stuff. So let me just finish this up, and then I'll explain to you what I'm actually doing. Maybe you guys, it'll be easier to think about. So basically, everything that's inside of here, besides this, obviously, because you can see that this connects to the outside. So everything inside your weird circle is what's going to get blurred. So you just got to make a loop like that with everything inside getting blurred. Okay? So then what you're going to want to do after you get that is you want to right click again, make selection. Make sure you're still on layer 1. And you want to go to filter blur and then radial blur. So this is a circle blur. So in this case, we're going to do, let's say, a 2 blur. And as you can see, it gives it that spinny motion. On this one, we can honestly probably just go to a 3. So let's go to a 3 here. Yeah, that works. So we got a 3 blur on that. Control D again to get that unselected. And now for the rear or front wheel. So the front wheel, the same thing. You just want to make sure your circle, the inside of the circle has everything you want to be blurred. So I'm just going to follow this tire pretty nicely. The outside doesn't matter because think about it, you're on this layer. It's only going to blur this layer, so don't worry about it blurring your background. So let's just go up and around this, back up and around, and there we go. Now we have this selected. Now we can right click, make selection, okay, filter, blur, radial 3, okay. Now it's blurred. It might not look that blurred because it is a front wheel, so it might look a little different than the rear, as the rear is actually almost a circle in this picture. It depends on your picture though. But there you go. Now you have your screenshot almost done. The next part is the colors and the corrections and all that stuff. So that's the fun part. Now you have your picture. You're going to want to go select both. So hit your first layer, shift, click second one, and you're going to want to merge them. Merge them up, hit filter, or click it again, and go to filter, camera, raw filter. Now you guys don't have to edit your pictures like this, but this is my run through on how I make mine. So I usually, on a bright track, I usually like to start off with the matte, which gives it that dark effect. So I'll run you back through how I got there. So filter, with the layer selected, filter, camera, raw filter, and then this line of pieces here, you go to presets, and it's under color and then matte. There's all these cool ones too, like there's a lot of them. Like let's say we did bright, it brightens everything up, but I wanted to do like this one, like as a darker theme. So let's go here, let's go matte. Now you only can select one at a time when you're in here. So I'm going to do matte first. I'm going to get matte out of the way, which looks pretty awesome, but it's just a little dark. So we're going to go back, click our layer, do camera raw filter again. We're going to go back over to the presets page, and I usually like to do a little soft mist on there. So it brightens it back up, but still has that dark feeling to it. And that's usually all I touch in there from the presets. So we go back to camera raw filter. We don't need to go back to presets again. And this is where I start messing with the exposure and stuff like that. And it's up to, this is all creative, so it's up to you guys. So I'm going to go a little darker on the exposure. I'm going to pull the contrast. Honestly, on this one, I think I want it up a little bit. Probably like 20 there. Highlights, which is going to do the top of the picture. I want this to be a little darker, so let's go about a lot darker. So let's go about -40 here. Shadows. We might honestly just keep this, or maybe go down a little bit, back to like -8. Whites is gonna just bring out the whites in the picture. I add just a little bit, maybe like 18 there. Black's gonna obviously bring out the blacks if you go negative. So you might bring out like a 2. Texture, just I never really mess with these because like, okay, let's put on texture on 100. And it kind of makes everything look a little like liney, if that makes any sense. So I usually never do texture there. I knew these were all going to reset, so let me go back through. Turn the exposure down, contrast down, highlights down, or contrast up, I mean. Shadows a little bit, whites down, blacks up just a hair. Texture I usually maybe turn up just a tad, maybe like 12. Clarity is just going to make your picture look weird if you turn it way up, and blurry if it's way down. So I usually just keep this at 0. Dehaze just makes, I don't know. I honestly don't know what this one does. I think it just brings out like the highlights in the picture. Like this, see this like darkened everything but made the sky blue. I usually mess with this a little bit. It kind of looks like it adds a vignette to the picture. I might put this on like 30 here. And then vibrance. Okay, so this is going to make the picture like really dark and colored, and then obviously a lot of color. So in this picture, what's 0 look like? I might add a little bit of vibrance in here for that our green bike. So I'm going to add 10. Saturation is how the colors work as well. Kind of makes the colors more bright. So I'm just going to leave that at 0. So this is what we're going to have here, which looks pretty awesome. And this is all creative. Now you guys could go through all these settings up here, you know, mess with this stuff, you know, whatever you want. And that's up to you guys. That's what I do, though. That's pretty much what I do for a screenshot. So yeah, there that is. All right, guys, on to the next screenshot. So this one's going to be a little different, a lot easier in my opinion. So we have no track on the bottom, so it's going to be pretty simple. So first things first, you have your picture with your bike and your picture without the bike. That's completely the same, just your bike is in the one. We're going to go back, select the top one, go back to difference on the bottom, select color range, that's focus area. We're going to go select color range, shadows on the bottom, 0, 0, okay. We're going to hit backspace, Control D, and then go back to normal. Then, like I said, we're not going to be out pick and blur in this one, drawing out blur and stuff. So we're going to click on the bottom layer, so just your screen. You can honestly turn off the bike, but I like to keep it on just for reference. And I'm going to go here to I'm going to go to filter, blur, and motion blur. So this is going to blur out the background in a motion. You can mess with your direction and stuff like that. I like mine going this way because that's the direction of my bike. So if we do like 15, let's say. Let's do 12. And this is completely up to you guys. You guys can mess with whatever you want. But I'm going to do 10 here. So there's a 10 motion blur, which looks pretty cool. It makes your bike really stand out. So after that, you get your motion blur settings set in. Make sure to merge your layers by selecting both and right-click merge. And we're going to go back into camera raw filter. I'm going to run through the same two things. I'm going to run through matte. And then back into here. And soft mist. And like I said, you guys don't have to do the matte soft mist thing. That's just my style. If you guys like my style, then there you go. That's how I do it. But there's that. There's the soft mist matte. And then you can go back through. And if you want to add more to these, like it's just gonna make things look a little weird because you already have two filters on there. So go back through. You can mess with stuff. So I can so my picture is already bright. So I go back 0. It's pretty bright up top. I can turn it down a little bit to get a little darker. The exposure, contrast as well. Get that bottom contrast darker. Now with highlights in this one, it's going to make that sky pop a little bit in the back. Like these clouds over here are going to pop in a lot more. Whereas if I turn it up, it's going to be just white. So I might turn highlights down a lot. Shadows is going to brighten the bottom back up a little in the middle. So I'm going to keep this 0. Whites, turn the whites up. I'm still going for a darker picture, so I'm going to just keep this 0. And blacks here, I'm going to go a little bit negative there. Maybe not that much, so let's go -10. Texture, again, just a little bit up. Clarity, I'm not going to mess with. Maybe on this one I might do a little bit because of the motion blur. I might just do +8 on that. And dehaze really makes everything pop. Like it almost looks like it makes the background darker or lighter depending on your picture. So I like that on this one. Vibrance, again, watch the green on my bike. It pops that. And of course, all these colors down here as well. So I'm going to do +10 on this. Saturation is going to make the colors pretty much, it's just going to make it black or white or super colorful. So let's just do 0 there. And there's that. There's the shot. I obviously have a logo and stuff I'll put in the bottom right, but I don't need to show you guys how to do that. That's pretty simple. I just drag the logo in there and size it down to the corner. But that's my screenshots. It's pretty simple, like this track. You just have your bottom blurred or not blurred, that way you can see the depth of the picture. Adds depth. This picture, you don't have any track to non-blur, so you got just motion blur background, which makes you look like you're hauling ass, along with this one having your wheel spinning. But if you guys did enjoy this video and you guys found this helpful, let me know. I wasn't actually planning on making this video, but I was like, screw it, let's just do it. Let's show these guys how to do some screenshots if they don't know. And it's pretty freaking easy. Can't go wrong with it. And if you guys have any questions, please comment down below or join my Discord. I appreciate the love and the support on the edit that was posted yesterday or 2 days ago. Man, I struggled making that, and because I had to teach myself, but it was a lot of fun. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.